Good day, everyone, and welcome back to Unpopular Aussie Opinions, the spot where we kick the sacred cows of Australian sport right in the guts and watch them scatter. I'm your host, and today, we are plunging into a controversy that's got the rugby league world reeling like a bloke after one too many schooners at the local pub. The Queensland Rugby League has just pulled the pin on Billy Slater, the immortal fullback turned miracle worker, sacking him as head coach of the Maroons after 4 electrifying years at the helm. Yeah, you read that right. The man who scripted back-to-back State of Origin triumphs in 2022 and 2023, who dragged Queensland from the brink of irrelevance to dynasty status, has been shown the door. The announcement hit like a thunderbolt from a clear blue sky, leaving fans, pundits, and players alike gobsmacked. But in the spirit of this channel, I'm here to drop the unpopular truth bomb. This sacking isn't the travesty it's being painted as. It's a cold, calculated masterstroke that could reignite the fire in Queensland's belly and remind us all that sentiment has no place when premierships are the prize. Buckle up, mates, because we are unpacking this bombshell from every angle, and by the end, you might just find yourself nodding along to the heresy. Let's set the scene properly, because if you're a die-hard Maroon supporter, this one's going to sting like a bee in the Barbie smoke. It was just yesterday afternoon, October 23rd, 2025, when the QRL bosses gathered in a stuffy boardroom at their Eagle Farm headquarters, the kind of place where dreams go to die under fluorescent lights. Out comes the press release. After careful consideration, the Queensland Rugby League has decided to part ways with Billy Slater as head coach of the Queensland Maroons with immediate effect. No sugarcoating, no farewell tour, just a swift boot out the back door. Slater, ever the class act, released a statement that read like a eulogy for his own tenure. Coaching Queensland has been the greatest privilege of my life. We've built something special, but I respect the decision and wish the Maroons nothing but success moving forward. The man's a poet, isn't he? But behind those measured words, you can almost hear the crack in his voice, the echo of a legend who's just been told his story ends here. The timing? Brutal. This comes hot on the heels of the 2025 State of Origin series, where Queensland clawed back from a horror opening loss in Brisbane, a 28-12 thumping that had Blues fans crowing louder than a cockatoo at dawn, to snag victories in Perth and Sydney, sealing another shield. 7 wins from 12 games under Slater. 3 series victories overall. The bloke's unbeaten streak in deciders was the stuff of folklore. Remember Game 3 of 2022? Trailing by 8 with minutes left, Slater's halftime spray turns the tide, and suddenly Reece Walsh is scampering down the sideline like a roux on rocket fuel. Tom Dearden's threading bombs that land like gold. Or 2023 at Adelaide Oval, where the Maroons dismantle New South Wales 32-6. Daly Cherry Evans hoisting the Wally Lewis medal like it was forged in the fires of Suncorp. Slater wasn't just coaching, he was conjuring magic, blending street-smart instincts from his 31 Origin games as a player with a modern edge that made the Blues look like they'd wandered in from a touch footy match. As a player, Slater was untouchable. 3 Dally M fullback awards, 2 Clive Churchills, the heart and soul of Queensland's 8-year dynasty from 2006 to 2013. He retired in 2018, dipped his toes into commentary and selection, then boom, appointed Maroons coach in 2021 after Paul Green's tragic passing. No head coaching gigs under his belt, just pure footy nous. And it worked. He instilled that famous Queensland grit, the us against the world mentality that turns underdogs into apex predators. Players adored him, Cameron Munster calling him the best coach I've had, Hamiso Tabuai-Fidow crediting his tweaks for turning him into a try-scoring machine. The QRL extended his deal through 2026 just last year, Ben Eiking gushing about locking in someone of Billy's caliber. So why now? Why sack a winner? Whispers from the corridors of power paint a grim picture. Sources close to the board, anonymous, of course, because rugby league leaks slower than a dunny at a music festival, point to mounting frustrations behind the glamour. The 2024 series was a white-knuckle ride, a thumping 38-10 win in Game 1, only for the wheels to wobble with a narrow loss in Melbourne and a decider that went down to the wire, Queensland scraping home 14-12 on the back of a Ruben Cotter masterclass. But cracks appeared. Injuries ravaged the squad, Munster sidelined, Walsh nursing a hamstring that looked like it was held together with sticky tape. Slater selections drew fire, benching veterans like Felice Kafusa for bolters, shuffling the halves like a deck of cards. Pundits muttered about over-reliance on speed over structure, about a defence that leaked tries like a sieve in a storm. Then 2025. That opening night horror show at Suncorp, where New South Wales, under a resurgent Michael Maguire, exploited every ruck error, every missed tackle. Queensland bounced back, sure, But the series win felt laboured. Enter the shockwaves. Fan forums are abuzz like a beehive. Slater's lost the edge. Time for fresh blood. On his podcast and called it a disgrace. Ever paranoid about the Blues resurgence, lost the plot. Decided enough was enough. Phil Gould, that gravel-voiced oracle, weighed in on Wide World of Sports. Billy's the heartbeat of Queensland footy. Sacking him now is like pulling the plug on a Ferrari mid-race. Down south, NSW players like James Tedesco couldn't hide their smirks. One less headache for us, he quipped in the sheds. Social media? Pandemonium. Hashtags like hashtag Justice for Billy and hashtag Maroons meltdown trended from Cairns to the Gold Coast, with memes of Slater's iconic try-scoring grin morphing into a sad clown. Even the Melbourne Storm faithful, Slater's old stomping ground, piled on, organising a petition to bring Billy back to club footy that racked up 50,000 signatures overnight. And the players? Munster posted a cryptic black square on Instagram. Walsh tweeted a broken heart emoji next to a maroon jersey. It's raw, it's real, and it's ripping the soul out of the game we love. But here's the unpopular opinion that's got me labelled a traitor in Broncos bars from Brisbane to Beaudesert. This sacking is exactly what Queensland needs. Hear me out before you unsub. Slater's a genius, no doubt, his origin record's etched in granite. But genius breeds complacency, and complacency kills dynasties. Look at the patterns. Post-2023 extension, the Maroons started coasting. Training camps got cozier, selections more sentimental. Remember axing Cherry Evans mid-2025? Bold on paper, but it gutted the leadership core, left the team rudderless in that Game 1 rout. Slater's magic relied on surprise, on that underdog fire he knew so well as a player. Now, they're the hunted, fat and happy on past glories, and the Blues smell blood. New South Wales under Maguire is a machine, structured, ruthless, with Luai and Munster light in Trebojevic pulling strings. Queensland's depth is thinning. Walsh might bolt to Sydney clubs, Taboi Fido's eyeing NRL head gigs. Sticking with Slater would have been romantic rot, papering over a squad that's aging like milk in the sun. Sacking him forces a reset, a brutal one, but necessary. The QRL's eyeing Kevin Walters as front-runner, the bloke who coached the Broncos to a 2025 prelims berth, with that walrus moustache hiding a tactical brain sharper than a shearer's blade. Walters knows Origin inside out, assisted Meninga during the glory years, and brings Bronco steel to a maroon side that's gone soft. Imagine him blooding young guns like Ezra Mam at 5'8", pairing him with Dearden for a halves combo that'd make Lockyer and Langer blush. Or poaching from the Cowboys' conveyor belt, Tom Dearden's mate Jackson Perdue waiting in the wings. It's uncomfortable, sure, like pulling off a winning stubby holder, but evolution demands it. We've idolized one-man shows before. Bennett's Broncos empire crumbled when loyalty trumped logic. Slater's exit isn't betrayal, it's business, the kind that builds lasting legacies, not fleeting fairy tales. Spare a thought for Billy himself, though. This isn't just a job loss, it's identity theft. The Innisfail kid who rose from North's Devil's obscurity to Storm immortality, who won 2 Wally Lewis medals as player of the series, now his collateral in the QRL's power play. Whispers say his fielding calls from NRL clubs already. Parramatta dangling the Eels gig, desperate post-Arthur, or even a Storm return to mentor under Bellamy. Family first, he always says, wife Nicole and the kids on that farm outside Melbourne, far from the Origin circus. Sacking him frees him up for that, for a crack at club footy where he can build year-round, not just thrice-annual miracles. It's poetic, in a gut-wrenching way. The man who evaded defenders for a living now dodges the spotlight's glare. Broader ripples? The league's electric with possibility. A coachless Queensland opens the Origin market. Could we see a wild card like Jason Demetriou, fresh from Rabbitoh's redemption? Or poach from NRL ranks, Bennett 2.0? Rivalries sharpen. New South Wales, buoyed by the chaos, eyes a clean sweep in 2026. Fans divided. Old guard baying for blood. Young bucks hungry for change. Me. I'm team turnover. Loyalty's a loser's crutch in this game. Short careers, endless pressure. Slater gave Queensland 3 shields. Now let the next bloke chase 4. It's harsh, but it's footy. As the dust settles on this seismic shift, Maroons Nation, don't weep, wet your knives. Billy Slater's sacking isn't the death knell. It's the dawn chorus of a fiercer era. That's my take, unpopular as a vegan at a steakhouse, but substantiated in the scoreboard's cold glare. What say you? Sack or salvation? Drop your thoughts below. Like if you're with me on the reset, subscribe to keep the controversy flowing. And remember, in Aussie sport, Fortune favours the bold. Until next time, keep those opinions fierce and your allegiances flexible. Cheers.